Luke, reached the halfway point of the T20 campaign tomorrow. How do you think Sussex are faring at this stage?
Well, it's been tough so far. We've had a couple of close games, and obviously that Essex one was disappointing. But it's trying to, my thing when I took over was probably wanting a settled side, settled squad. But through injuries, etc., we've not been able to do that at all. So yeah, we need to improve. But I mean, the group, everyone's beating everyone. So sort of a few wins, and you suddenly find yourself right back up there again. So we've got to start that tomorrow, up against obviously a top side. But as I said, everyone's beating each other. So we just need some more people in form. That's all.
Yeah, it always is a competitive group, isn't it, the South? I mean, even, sides that you think like Gloucester and Glamorgan get good wins, and teams like Middlesex have a good spell and then they lose a few. So with 8 games to go, I mean, 3 or 4 wins and you'll be right up there.
It is, yeah. I mean, it was a shame, obviously, with the game being abandoned. I think if we'd have got ourselves to 150, 160, I think we'd have been quite competitive on there. We had a sort of a slow attack, a lot of spin, and it was a quite big boundary, slow wicket, and every time they took the pace off it looked hard work. So I think it might have been hard work for them to chase the runs down, but there was a few nice signs in there. It was nice to see Kachopa getting back to the way he strikes the ball. I've seen him all winter absolutely smashing 70 off 30 balls against some real good attacks. So to see him starting to get going was very pleasing out of the game. Obviously Mahela's still playing well, and the more people we can get in form and get confident, that's what you need in T20 cricket.
And Mahela plays his last game tomorrow. It'd be typical of him to sign off with a really, really big contribution, wouldn't it? Yeah,
I think he's been really frustrated because he's such a legend. He wants to win games, and he's just felt that he hasn't had that one innings that's gone big and won us the game. So he's desperate to do that. And he's been brilliant around the guys. I mean, we couldn't even, we wanted a few more runs if we're being greedy. But he's just been a great man to have around. But I'm sure he'll want to sign off in a great way. And then obviously we get George, another top player as well. And arguably it's been that sort of back end last 10 overs that we've found really hard. So a guy coming in of his calibre down the order will definitely help.
And you've got good memories of the Ageas Bowl from a year ago, that fantastic 100, and then the week following you got that big one against Essex, so good ground for you. Yeah,
it is. I always like playing it. It's normally a really good wicket. But again, yeah, a good attack. You just want to get yourself off and running. But hopefully I can do it again, but be on the winning side. I don't think we won that game. But any time you score runs, you want to be on the winning side, obviously. But whoever it is, I don't really care as long as we get the win. That's the most important thing.
You enjoying the captaincy?
I am, yeah. As I said, I think the frustration's been when I took over, wanting sort of a settled side especially, and not having my bowlers or having bowlers chopping and changing, etc. has been really hard, especially with people like Ageas not being fit. I mean, he came in as a good white ball option for us, and to not have him, obviously with Mills pre-season, he was going to look like he was going to be sort of our nailed on scene, but obviously with his injuries he's been sort of in and out. So it's been hard, but I mean I've still loved it, I still enjoy it, but you just want some more wins on the board. But as I said, there's no reason we can't still do that.
You mentioned George Bailey, a player you know well from the Big Bash. What's he going to bring when Mahela goes?
Well,
different type of player obviously, but huge experience in the
well, I think again I've been lucky. I mean, Mahela's been great for me out in the middle and talking to him about options and captaincy, and George exactly the same. But as I said, being someone who can come in that sort of back 14 to the last 20 overs is massive. I think we've had great starts. We've actually on the turn at 10 overs. I've been really pleased. If it hasn't been me or Nashi or Mahela, between us, we've actually dovetailed really well in games. But then we've sort of lost a lot of wickets in clusters in that last 10 overs and not really gone on. So he brings a lot of experience into that role, and hopefully he can hit the ground running.
Talk about the lack of bowlers. We saw you bowling at Arundel this week. We're going to see you with the white ball in the rest of this T20 tournament, do you think? Or
not if you want to see me play with a bat as well. I to be honest, as I said, I haven't bowled for about a year and not even in the net. So the groin was a bit tight, back was sore. I felt like I got whiplash in my neck. It's not the smoothest action to just fall back into. But no, I was pretty sore to be honest. But it just shows the amount of injuries I had when I've had to be throwing the ball. But hopefully we'll get a few boys back so I don't have to do it again.